Well, the unions also addressed what they consider to be the loss of a holiday over the Christmas weekend. Christmas Day fell on a Sunday and Boxing Day on Monday, and there was no weekday observance of the Christmas holiday. Ferguson says more public workers should be concerned about losing their entitlement.
As workers, the holiday is on the 25th. Why wouldn't we have 2 days? I mean, it's nonsense. You're working on a public holiday and you get straight pay. And not one Bahamian worker say a word. But if you work for me and I charge you $10, you make all kind of noise, right? Now you figure out the number of workers who work on that public holiday.
Yep.
You figure out the amount of money.
Thank you. That's
But
right.
they ain't saying that. So they give you Monday off and they tell you must report.
The government is about to inject just over $1 million into improving the tourism product. It's proposed that an upgrade at Festival Place on the Prince George Wharf will bring with it a new Junkanoo Theater, an interactive Bahamian experience for guests and employment for Bahamians. Carla Palmer has details.
Festival Place at the Prince George Wharf remains a beehive of activity, with millions of tourists and locals taking in the authentic Bahamian handicraft on a daily basis since it opened more than a decade ago. Initially, the space was earmarked for a Junkanoo Museum or Expo. Now, a decision by the government has been made. Culture Minister Charles Maynard tells ZNS News,
we have decided that the best use of the space really would be to have a showplace or a theater where somebody can see a Bahamian review and then view Junkanoo pieces and so on. So it wouldn't just be a passive museum atmosphere, but rather an active site where people can go and see the history of music as it developed in our country and so on, and then culminate with a Junkanoo rush out that carries people through a museum where pieces and so on are displayed.
According to Minister Maynard, the decision was made in conjunction with those who would be impacted most, the Junkanoo community, local artists, and musicians.
We spent a significant amount of time in cooperation with a private production group headed by Ronald Sims and Fred Ferguson to produce a show, to be able to design an area to create that into a real showplace. And so we have the final designs complete. We have the costing done, and our only hindrance has been that the roof of Festival Place had to be replaced. It has some issues and it has to be replaced, and we have assurance from the Ministry of Works that is going to be done early in January, and the work, so long as that work begins, then we'll be able to start to do the renovations inside of the area to make the theater and to design the museum.
Once those internal renovations are completed, here's what you can expect.
It's expected to be a daily show with 2 or 3 shows daily. We've already got agreement in principle from the cruise ship operators that they will sell the show on board and so on. So we expect this to be a huge injection for the cultural community.
$1.5 million is the overall estimated cost to create the theater, with hundreds of thousands of dollars more to be expended in full-time employment of residents.
This is going to be a revolution for the cultural community in many ways.
Minister Maynard says the government's ultimate objective for Festival Place is to have a top-class production that's able to compete with similar tourist attractions around the world. Carla Palmer, ZNS News.